Hello. Something big may be coming for 2027 election in Nigeria. Channels Television and Yaga Africa and the European Union have just unveiled a new election monitoring platform, and the message coming from the launch was loud and clear. Votes must count in 2027. But can this technology really stop election manipulation? Let's talk about it.
The voters and the election management body, INEC, over the years. And now there is a need that as Nigeria moves closer to the election of 2027, how much of trust can Nigerians have in the process? And I'm very certain that when you know your vote count, the exact vote that you count is what you see in the result. You will have some trust and you will be more confident to go and vote. So tonight, we are unveiling for you ERA 2.0, and we're glad to also tell you that we are partnering with the EU on this one. And tonight, I'm being joined by the Executive Director of Yaga Africa, Samson Itodo. Thank you so much, Samson, for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Always a delight to be here.
Thank
really
you so
excited about this.
Congratulations, I must say.
Well, congratulations to both of us. Because I recall when we did this in 2022. And we actually started with Ekiti, if you remember.
Absolutely.
And so delighted that we're back again.
Ekiti people are usually very lucky.
Very, very lucky. Very, very lucky.
They always get a taste of the good things as far as this election technology is concerned.
Especially what technology promises. That's right.
Of course. This is Samson. That's one talking. Just beside him is Ruben Elba, who is a representative of the European Union. Thanks so much for your support on this one. Thanks so much indeed, Ruben. Why do you want to support us on this one, Ruben?
Well, this is part of the long-standing partnership that the European Union has built with Nigeria over the 60 past years. And support through the USDGN, that is the support to democratic governance in Nigeria, is one of the largest EU-funded programs in this country. We want to support more transparency. We want to support the whole electoral process. And we are supporting organizations like Yaga and many other civil society organizations to precisely try to, what you were mentioning before, bring in more transparency, making sure that there is more civic education so Nigerians can fully participate in the democratic process. And it all starts with the elections. If you don't have credible elections, if you don't have inclusive elections, we want to have more young people, more women, more people with disabilities also participating, being able to choose whoever they think will be the best leader, whether at state level or federal level or even at local level, because we forget sometimes the importance of governance at local level, at the LGA level. So that's why we are here today, also to be part of the conversation, and me in particular, I'm part of what we call a Diplo Watch. So we are here together with representatives from other embassies and international organizations to check, to see really with our own eyes, and to see how the Nigerian electoral system is working in practice, and when necessary also to make a recommendation and observations that will improve the system. We believe that also the use of technology like ERAD and other tools will make the system more robust and will give us really more credibility, more transparency, and more participation.
That's indeed the essence, if you ask Yaga Africa, and they had an idea. They brought it to us and we told them exactly how we can bring it to make it really what viewers, how impactful it will be for our voters and viewers. But for ERAD specifically, this is not all what it's all about. The technology alone, the interface that you see at home is not what this is all about. We've got some eggheads who are developing the technology, crunching the result, and we are bringing to you what the aftertaste of the food. That's what we're bringing to you. But we have some of our colleagues who are data clerks who are breaking down the figures and collating the result and putting it together. Some of them, I'll show you some of the video right behind this studio, and they are there, and we've got some other people of the side. Enormous number of people who are working behind the scenes for this to happen. But Ruben, ERAD, why ERAD 2.0? It worked in Ekiti, Osun. We saw how tremendous this could be, and people start at home just like you will find in the United States and in the UK, where people will really sit at home and watch our results coming. And you don't have to fret. We were bringing people result in real time until disaster happened in the 2023 election. But why ERA 2.0? Why are you lending a voice on this?
Well, as I said, we are partnering with organizations like Yaga through our flagship program, the Support to Democratic Governance. And we thought that by providing tools like ERAT, we'll be able to bring another layer of scrutiny to cross-check the data and the results that INEC is publishing on IREF. So once again, what we want to achieve with this tool is to make sure that the results are more accessible to the Nigerian public, and to ensure that we have a tool that, as I said, can cross-check the data and the result that INEC has to upload on the IREF system. So we really, we believe that by bringing more technology, by bringing more tools, we'll really be able to build trust in the system, as you said. That trust that seems to be eroded because of what has happened before. We want to build that credibility. And ERAT is a critical tool, we believe, that will ensure that more people will have access to the results information, and also present in a more digestible, more user-friendly way.
I do not want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, because I know we and our partners, we've got some very big plans for 2027, and we do not want the politicians to see it coming just yet. How far are you willing to go in assisting? Because what we have swore to at Channels Television, and we, our partners, is that by all means 2027 votes will count. The voices of the average person in this country, their votes will count. 2027, either the politicians like it or not, their votes will count. And we are having a big plan. They do not know about it. They will be caught unawares. But we will do something that will shock the world as far as election monitoring is concerned. That is our plan, we and our partners. But you are supporting. How far are you willing to go to ensure that one of the legs to a democratic development and sustaining democracy is continuous and sustained election and electoral process? How far are you willing to go with us on this?
Well, we will for sure be there in 2027, and we will continue. The program will continue running, and will cover the period of 2027 and the whole run-up process. And we are, as I said, we are a long-standing partner of Nigeria. We've been here for more than 60 years since Nigeria is an independent nation, and we continue to believe that Nigeria, being the largest democracy in Africa and soon in the world, it is also in our own interest to ensure that the Nigerian democratic process is strengthened. And as I said, we believe that the use of technology is critical for that, to ensure that the process is robust and that we can all trust that the results will be representing the will of the Nigerians who go freely and willingly to vote on election day. So we are testing a number also of tools like ERAT, and we really sincerely hope that things will go well. And if the information is presented in the IREF and we don't have some of the technical glitches and problems that we saw in previous editions, we'll be able to ensure that the results are credible and that will be accessible for the majority of Nigerians.
Before I allow you to go, Ruben, and it was very beautiful, I saw the hub that all of the civil society organization, it looks like an exhibition center here in Ado-Ekiti, and it's just about monitoring that election. What was that initiative about?
Well, we are trying to bring all of the civil society partners of our EU-funded program into one roof, and they are looking at the elections from a different angle. Some of them are looking at, as I said, this as inclusiveness. Some others are looking at the data results. Some others are also looking at security. We've done a thorough pre-assessment of the elections, and we do that every time there is a governorship election, but also in other occasions. And this is the idea. It's a program for Nigerians, by Nigerians, for Nigerians to really improve your democratic process. And we are proud of this. We are proud to be able to support this journey, and we are also providing a lot of assistance, technical assistance as well, to make sure that the system improves, and that every elections we take lessons and recommendations. And by the time we get to 2027, we will also make sure that some of the glitches and some of the issues that were highlighted will not happen again. ultimately we want to build trust. We want a better system that Nigerians can trust.
Yeah. Trust me, Ruben, there won't be glitch. If there's a glitch, we have our other way of checking and ensuring transparency in 2027. And I want to put it on record. Politicians, if you want to rig an election, it will not work this time around. If there's going to be glitch, it will not work this time around. One thing that will work is that votes this time around in 2027 will count. And I will not let you know what we are planning, but we are planning big. But thank you so much, Ruben Elba of the European Union. I appreciate it. I better allow you go now because we're digging into some fact and data here. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ruben.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you.
So what do you think about this era 2.2, 2.0, sorry, rather? Do you think is going to solve the Nigerian election malpractice, manipulation, and vote buying? Because reporting is not the only problem we have in our election, and the vote counting is not the only problem we have in our election. We also have voters endorsement, vote buying, thuggery, intimidation of voters. So these are all problems that comes within Nigeria election each year. And if those ones are not tackled, I don't think the issue of reporting, you know, votes that count is the only way that we will get it right in 2027 election, because we need to, the security need to be there. We need to make sure that the voters are not being intimidated. We need to make sure that every voter is secured and will be freely without any pressure to vote freely, because we need to get things right. And who knows, I hope this program or project will not be hijacked by the so-called politicians that we are talking about, because they have their ways of getting things they want at any given time. So this is what I think. So I don't know what you think. Comment it on the comment section, and don't forget to share so that others will see this news and see if it's a good thing coming to Nigeria. And always remember to subscribe if we are giving you what you want in terms of reporting and analysis. Thank you as we go to the next video.